All right, hi, Wake Up America. How y'all doing today? This is the AK Airborne all the way right here. Look, this is my first broadcast in this juncture, but things is happening fast and furious, and I want to talk about it. Okay, right here in Wake Up America. And as you see on the map, this map of Israel, Jordan, Iraq, and of course Iran. And something significant has happened in Iran today. I wanted to report to you guys that a three nuclear sites were struck by U.S. B-2 bombers, dropping the mother of all bombs right in those hidden underground storage called known as, of course, is known as the bunker buster. It's known as the bunker buster, guys. And I'm here to tell you, that bunker buster is nothing to play with. So I want to share with you guys a small video about the bunker buster. So hold on for a second while I move this thing over here. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it well, but that's how it looks. That's the bunker buster. It's 30,000 pounds, 20 feet long. And this is one of the illustrations that's talking about it. So you might not be able to hear it, but it's talking about it. A massive ordnance penetrator. Think about that. You're 30 feet underground, and this massive ordnance penetrator hits your location, and you have no way of knowing it was coming. 200 feet of rock before detonating, ladies and gentlemen. 200 feet of rock. It will go through 200 feet of rock and detonate. That's one of our most powerful non-nuclear weapons. Matter of fact, it's our trump card. Speaking of Trump, who authorized the drop, and it's doing its job, guys. But I just want to show that to you real quick and give you show you the illustration. I'll show you a few more seconds of it. Talk about precision, ladies and gentlemen. This bomb can just blast through one hole to this depth to where far as it can go, and the other one is bombed. It just following right behind it, going right through the same hole and doing this and going further in with massive destruction. That is amazing, guys. And I'm here to tell you, we got some power. I'll tell you, United States got some power. So I just wanted to share just a little bit of that with you guys. But I also wanted to share with you this article I have run into. And right here is from Florida. That's one of the first one of many I found earlier. And it said U.S. has struck three Iranian nuclear sites. Trump said joining Israel air campaign. So technically, we're technically at war with the Iranians. You feel what I'm saying? We're technically at war with Iran. Now, I'm not a analyst, professional analyst, and I'm definitely not the president because he makes that call. And there's some things that's way above my security clearance. But I'm here to tell you guys, this is where it's at. I mean, Associated Press was one of the first one to put it out. Now all American News are putting it out there. But look at what it can do. I mean, this thing could go penetrate deep. It says right here, according to the Washington Associated Press, President Donald Trump said Saturday that the U.S. struck three sites, and we knew that was coming. It was coming. I knew it was coming. Three sites in Iran directly joining Israel's effort to decapitate the country's nuclear program in a risky gambit to weaken the longtime foe of Tehran's threat of reprisal that could spark a wider regional war. Now, what worst thing can happen in a regional war, guys? This can get ugly because now that we have finally backed up what we were going to say, President Trump said you didn't come to the table, you didn't make the deal, you wouldn't make the deal. I gave you the deal of a lifetime, yeah, and he did give the deal. I mean, it's nothing funny about it. When the president offers you a deal to bring out peace, prosperity, and you spit at his face, the next thing that will come is, you're going to mess around and find out. And that's what the Iranians found out. Hey, you not the Iranian people per se, but the Iranian Islamic government have messed around and found out. Not just with the United States, but with Israel. And it's been a thorn by our side since the Shah of Iran ouster in 1980. I remember when I was in high school, watching the Shah of Iran leave, because I was definitely interested in what was going on around the world when I was a kid. Had leave the country, and the Ayatollah came out from France. That's the French connection there. To establish an Islamic state or Islamic republic. So Iran went from a freedom and went from Persia to Iran, which I believe that's about to change now that the princess is looking to regain the throne. But you see right here the strategic, the importance of the Persian Gulf, where billions of dollars of trade goes back and forth, especially when it comes to oil, what that could affect Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, and also Oman, and as well as Saudi Arabia. It could also make an impact and affect Pakistan. So you never know. I mean, these things can become a hot regional hotbed right here, just like in the desert. I remember Desert Shield, Desert Storm. When we were out here in Saudi Arabia, moved into Kuwait, and moved into Iraq was the bad guy, and then Iraqi freedmen from Kuwait to Iraq. I mean, we always maintain a military presence in this area. But now, we're going to find out what's going to be the next step. And the whole world's talking about it. The whole world's talking about now that the United States have made its move as a superpower, saying, hey, Iran will not have nuclear weapons. We have a president who is strong, who is a fighter, who is not going to take no mess. You're not going to have nuclear weapons. Every president, including Biden, including not Jimmy Carter, including Bill Clinton, Bush 1 and Bush 2 say you're not going to have nuclear weapons, and they did absolutely nothing. Obama 2. But it took this man to say enough is enough. It's been almost 50 years. So here we are. I'm looking at the Persian Gulf. So what's going to happen? Will the Iranians put mines at the Strait of Hormuz? Will they mine it? Okay, and I know that's not going to happen. Makes you wonder who will they do it, and what will be the consequences? Because remember, Israel is bombing a lot of their military bases here. So with little military base that's been bombed by Israel, I'm quite sure America would do some grand bombing over here. And I'm telling you, it's a beautiful country, so much to see, and I'll be glad that once the people become free again and become a safe place for visitors. But if you see here, the Strait of Hormuz is a very strategic point, most important shipping lane. And one thing you don't want to have is Iranians firing missiles and artillery on cargo ships or ships transporting oil. China depends on this Strait of Hormuz. India depends on the Strait of Hormuz. So there's going to be it could be it could be a global escalation that would grow in proportion. I mean, a lot of countries depend on this Strait of Hormuz. So we'll see how it goes. And then plus we have all these military bases, not far from here. I know we have some in Bahrain, we have some in Kuwait, and we, of course, the Saudi, Royal Navy hosts us as well. So we're here. So we'll see how this thing rabbit hole goes in the near future. Now I want to show you some other videos. News. I'm gonna show you something else. Here's another news article from right here. The military conduct airstrike on Iran nuclear facility, saying the same thing as the New York Times and the Associated Press. Very successful attack on Truth Social. He said it would deliver it and address to the nation at 10 p.m. So that's going to be interesting. I'm quite sure they're waiting for, see what happens. It's a good thing he put it out there. It would have been another 30 minutes. So I'll record it and post it out there so you can see it. Say, why it matters, Trump's decision to intervene directly in support of Israel's efforts to dismantle Iran's nuclear program marked a historical escalation in the Middle East. It has to be done. Look, I told my friend, eventually it has to be done. Some people probably don't see eye to eye about this thing, but if they get nuclear weapons, I mean, I remember Bill Clinton said North Korea, DPRK is not going to have nuclear weapons. We're not going to allow it. Guess what? DPRK called you bluff and you did absolutely nothing. Now they have 90 nuclear missiles pointing at now the West Coast. First of all, the West Coast is under the danger of Chinese missiles and Russian missiles. Now add DPRK to the equation. Okay? It can hit Alaska. So, I mean, I believe in the peace through strength strategy. You do whatever you can for peace. You do whatever you can to work out a deal. And if all fails, diplomacy fails, then you do what you have to do to resolve the situation. And that's my belief in that matter. The attack, which came in the ninth night of the unprecedented war between Israel and Iran, and it was going to happen, could provoke retaliation from Tehran against U.S. troops. Remember, I was sharing with you guys earlier, and I'm going to pull it up here. Our military installations around here on this side of the Persian Gulf, okay? So any given time, Iran could do something. So let's move on to the next one. I would have recorded earlier, but this was more than 18 minutes ago. Jerusalem, New York. Here's a New York Times. And it states live updates. U.S. entered war against Iran, bombing key nuclear sites. President Trump announced the United States has struck Fordo, Iran's heavily fortified, and I mean heavily fortified nuclear facility, as well as two other sites. What's made it fortified is so many feet deep underground with sealed doors, okay? And even those sealed doors couldn't help. And so God help the ones that's still in there with all that stuff. They're pretty much buried. So the United States has officially entered a war against Iran. It was coming. It's inevitable. Like everything else, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. There's nothing we can do. It doesn't matter who's president. It's going to happen. It happened Saturday night. Their time. Okay, remember it's Saturday night, their time, which is this morning or earlier today. Okay? But, it's just 3 bombs, 3 locations, maybe 4. I think it was 2 per. But the strike did happen. And hopefully the Iranians will say, we better, seal the deal for peace with the U.S. Now let's look on this map right here. These are the three locations. Fordo, full payload. Israel attack had already damaged the country's largest uranium enrichment, and this location a repository of near bomb grade nuclear fuel thought to be stored here. So I'm here to tell you guys, things are happening, news are happening faster than fast can fast. And here's another article. And it says right here, Trump, you say U.S. bomb 3. I mean, things are happening. People starting to show, all these people starting to show the news, okay? This news is going out. This is Francais. This is Francais 24. I love Francais 24. I love Deutschland news. I love Korean news and Australian news. I'm still disappointed in American news because they're always late. President Trump said Saturday that the U.S. military struck 3 sites in Iran, directly joining Israel's effort to decapitate the country's nuclear program. They're saying the same thing. But you see here, guys, saying the same thing. And you see, breaking news. It happened. 30,000 bunker buses. Remember, total. They sent 2. It's 2 by 2. Remember? You never do it 7 by 1. 2 by 2. Total of 60,000 pounds. B-2 bomber is the strongest aircraft that can carry this load. And I'm telling you, the B-52 couldn't do it. The B-2 couldn't, the B-1 couldn't do it, but the B-2 can. That even makes it more worth to build more B-2s. I mean, it hadn't been built since another one. I mean, it's one of the old relics of the early 79s and 80s under Jimmy Carter authorized, the program. And the B-2 bomber, was capable of carrying nuclear weapons. Now it just bombed the daylights out of whoever we wanted it to bomb. But it bombed 30,000 pound bunker buster and can carry chance to destroy a heavily fortified site connected to Iran's nuclear program. We say we're going to do it. It was need to be done. We kicked the can. Now the can is no longer being kicked around. We just made it so that you're going to definitely mess around and find out. And it just takes a good leader who's willing to take that chance. Because of a lack of leadership prior to World War II, Hitler invaded a number of countries, and which led to the beginning of World War II, of the Second World War. Again, and when he invaded Poland, he got greedy, invaded Poland. Guess what? I mean, when you stop them at the beginning, where lives won't have to be lost as much. But when you kick the can, guys, like Montgomery did, he signed a piece of paper with a guarantee that Hitler would not grab any more countries. And guess what? He went out on a grab and grabbed France and grabbed Belgium and what's this other country? Lynchburg and a couple of other places of Europe. And I'm not going to name the names. That you already know the history. But, 30,000 pounds per. So a B-2 can carry, total carries 2 bombs, one to penetrate and one to follow through. That's a total of 60,000 pounds. Bunker busters. And it's real as it gets, guys. Everybody's talking about it now. Everybody's talking about it. Look at this. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. Sky News. I love Sky News. You don't tell the enemies what you're going to do. All right, guys. So you got just pretty much the gist of it. Iran has been hit. Here's the three locations just to give you an idea. There's Iraq. Here's Kuwait. Give you a little geography. Here's the Persian Gulf. Here's Iran, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan. All right here. Here you go. One, two, three. Hopefully, it will bring the Iranians to the table and make a serious talk, knowing that their stuff been obliterated. And then we can build a relationship with Iran, or we can keep the status quo. But I'm here to tell you guys, these things do happen. These things do happen, guys. It's just part of life and a part of our best interest, our U.S. interests. Like I said, you pick and choose what you want to believe or want to support. But I support the president on this decision. You pick and choose as you go, and I'll be happy, and I'm happy for you. But I'm here to tell you guys, this is real. I knew this was going to happen. When he said 2 weeks, I mean, I know PSYOP, I know civil affairs, I know infantry, I know all that stuff, man. I know never let your enemy know right hand know what you're going to do with your left hand. Never let them know nothing. If you're going to take a step to the left, you're pretty much taking a step to the right. I don't want you to know which way I'm coming. I may come from the north, say I'm coming from the north, and I'm coming from the east and the west and the south. You never let your enemy know where you're coming from. And it worked. So, I mean, kudos to the strategists who made this thing happen, and kudos to the generals. But I'm here to tell you guys, I just want to share just a little bit of breaking news, a reference back to what's happening in Iran, and let you know that the U.S. and Iran is technically at war, but not official. There, and again, and I thank you so much for watching this channel of Wake Up America. Please subscribe to this channel because I may talk about a little bit more. I used to talk about a lot of things about 4 years ago, and this channel was shut down, but I have my channel back, and I'm being very careful. So I just want to share a little update with you. Yes, the United States is technically at war, but not official with Iran. We probably need to put boots on the ground, and hopefully the Ayatollah, and I understand that many of the not Iraqis, Iranian soldiers and revolutionary groups are leaving their posts or as they say, vacating their position. Because that's what it does when you have somebody who's bigger and better than you, who thought wasn't stronger than you. But nonetheless, guys, I hope you all have a great day. Please continue to support our troop, our country, and our president. If you don't like our president, that's fine. Like him, you hate him, it makes no difference to me. All negative comments will be banned. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. You don't have free speech on my channel. That's the only time I won't allow free speech. It's on my channel. So if you have something positive to say it. If you're having support or you just want to have a discussion question, that's fine. Don't tell me about how many innocent people were killed, because I look at how many innocent folks were just waking up in the morning and got blasted in Israel. And not just because of Iran was hit, because of the Houthis, because of the Hezbollah, and then Hamas. That's how I look at it. Anyway, have a blessed day. May the Lord bless you and keep you. And please pray for the peace of Jerusalem and all of the world. For this, I thank you. This is Airborne out.